hear different things. Always cut curly hair wet. No, 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 always cut curly hair dry. I'm gonna warn you, be very leery of anyone who ever says always, because there will always be an exception. We left the top dry because we wanted to be able to monitor the length. If we dampen her hair and we cut it, it's gonna shrink up a lot. We used Blade Glide Plus through the perimeter to really tailor in the back and sides of her haircut using both the trap cutting and the razor rotation technique, then a little bit of freehand razoring and some detailing with our scissors. Now we're gonna come in and just polish the transition between our razored perimeter and our longer interior. Notice I'm coming in very, very vertical. I've got my fingers held very straight up and down, comb parallel to fingers, shears parallel to fingers as I come up and off. And I'm angling out, I'm sort of wedging out. I want to retain the fullness in through here. I don't want to come straight up the head form. Some hair cutters have trouble because there's a tendency to round off that corner and take the weight out of here. One suggestion we frequently make is if you have a tendency to round out the corner, cut palm to palm. Palm to palm refers to the idea that you're cutting with your palm facing you and your palm facing your other palm. My two hands facing together like this. Instead of cutting out over the back side of my fingers, palm to palm cutting will have me cutting on the inside of my fingers. I'll come in and I'll come down. The difference is the advantage of palm to palm cutting. Notice if I want my fingers straight up and down with a palm to palm cutting technique, it is very difficult to follow the curve of the head. It's very difficult to round up the head form. So frequently on a lot of our short haircuts through the perimeter, we encourage palm to palm cutting because the natural tendency is for the fingers to point out and away from the head. I'm going to rotate just a little bit so you can see at the back here. It's the natural tendency is for the fingers to point away from the head as opposed to following the contour of the head, and we're able to create or preserve weight that we want to encourage in through this zone where the side and the top come together. We talk about that a lot in short haircutting. We're going to repeat this on the opposite side. On this side of the head, again, we can either come in on the back side of our fingers if we're really good about being really conscious of tipping away, or we can come in palm to palm. Palm to palm has the tendency to allow our fingertips to migrate out towards us, preserving or conserving weight in through the transition area where side and top come together in the haircut. So either out over the back of the fingers, or if over the back of the fingers will compromise the weight, we can continue to cut palm to palm. Getting Leela's hairstyle and finished, we're going to apply a little more Blade Glide Plus just to hydrate her hair a bit, just to add some moisture and kind of activate that curl. Notice the moisture in there that's so good for cutting. As a cutting lotion, it's just fabulous. The hair drinks it in beautifully, and we get wonderful curl and texture. And then we're going to use a leave-in texturizing styling agent as a styling product for Leela's hair. We're going to give her that to hold. We're going to tell her what we're using. We're going to tell her why we're using it and how to use it. We're going to work it into our hands and work it into the hair, and you'll get wonderful curl definition and separation. It's going to dry, not hard and crispy, but with some definition. It's got a nice light fragrance to it, and beautiful.